And joining us tonight, Congressman Tom Marino, a member of several key congressional committees, including Homeland Security, the Judiciary, and Foreign Affairs. Congressman, great to have you here.
Always a pleasure, Lou.
Oh, well, let's get to the convention here. That vote dismissing the never-Trumpers, if you will, by a voice vote rather than the roll call they had sought. You can have, depending on which side you're on, I would think the Trump people are saying that's leading with strength, and the Cruz people are, whatever they're saying, you know, where's the justice in this? What do you think?
Well, here's the justice. The American people have spoken, okay, in numbers that we've never seen before. So I can understand when someone's candidate lost, and there's a little grieving period, but let's suck it up and get to where we need to be to get Donald Trump elected, because Hillary will just be a disaster.
Can you divine a motivation here, Congressman, on the part of those never-Trumpers, the Ken Cuccinellis, the Mike Lees, whining about, well, they want representation. They have 559 delegates. Trump has 3 times as many. End of story. What's the deal?
The deal is, I think, it's FaceTime. It's spotlight on me, and I want my 15 minutes of fame, and let's just continue it as long as possible, and not thinking of the American people.
It's extraordinary because it's really an insult to the other voters, Republican voters.
Sure it is.
The record number of voters who support Donald Trump. And I have to say, Reince Priebus has handled himself, I think, terrifically. What do you think of the way in which the RNC is handling the convention?
Reince has done an outstanding job. I think his performance is excellent. He hasn't back down on any issues. Right. He's been diplomatic in situations where he had to be diplomatic. But it's time to grow up and think of where this country could be if Hillary Clinton selects Supreme Court justices.
Yeah. I think with those words you just scared a lot of people. And I think rightly so from my perspective. It is, to me, there's just no question whatsoever that should be reserved in any mind in the country, but that isn't the way politics works.
No.
I just never can understand why everyone doesn't agree with me.
I feel the same way too, but you know, my wife doesn't agree with me 50% of the time anyhow, so.
Well, I try not to put a percentage on it because I have to do what she says no matter what.
Yeah, I know what you mean. So,
unity here. That's been Trump's theme. He's driving it, selecting Mike Pence.
Brilliant move.
You've worked with him.
2 years, my first term in the 112th Congress.
Your regard for him?
Excellent person, top-notch man, constitutionalist, very intelligent, very diplomatic and polite, but when he has to get down and do what has to be done, he doesn't let anything get in his way. And he's just a well-liked person, very respected. It brings good balance to the ticket.
Balance to the ticket, and also he's reaching across and bridging a lot of fissures within the party.
Sure, and he's going to be a great consultant and an advisor and a great sounding board for the president, for Donald Trump. You know,
it just occurred to me, do you suppose that a President Trump would be likely to invite the leaders of the Congress to the White House, actually have a relationship with Congress and the Senate, and look to...
There's no question, because when Donald asked me to be the chairman of his campaign in Pennsylvania, right, and we swept all 67 counties by large numbers, they thought I was crazy.
The congressman said that with great gusto, didn't they?
You bet. We talked about many things, foreign affairs, domestic issues, and he said one of the first things he's going to do is surround himself with the brightest women and men that he can, just like he did in his business. Yeah. But he's going to call everybody to the table, both sides, and say, this is my agenda. Help me with it. Let's do this what is right. If you don't want to, if you don't want to do it that way, fine. But I'm going to take this country to greatness again, increase the military, make us strong, make us well respected around the United States, secure our borders. The issues tonight will be security. People are afraid. You know, through the Obama administration, I was a prosecutor, and we had equipment that we gave to states and locals, heavy-duty equipment, armored equipment, special flags. They wanted that back because it was too intimidating. Well, I wonder how intimidating president is feeling that law enforcement is now. I'm a law enforcement guy, and we need to give law enforcement everything that they need because it's the best in the country.
You know, it's pretty clear now, particularly after the president's most recent remarks over the last several weeks. He's not a law enforcement guy. Not only that,
No.
he is in opposition to the men and women who actually serve in law enforcement.
No question. I hear it all the time from agents I still have a relationship with, whether it's DEA, FBI, ICE. Tom, our hands are cuffed. We can't do anything. We can't pick people up. We can't hold them. We can't detain them.
Whether it's a border, whether it is,
no matter what,
as you say, the equipment, surplus equipment that has been moved out.
Look, the Justice Department doesn't even follow the rule of law.
Right. Well, it is time for law and order in this country, without question.
No doubt. And the American people made that very clear.
How about that? A presidential candidate, a nominee of a party who actually wants to represent and listen to the American people. That's going to send shockwaves.
Well, it has.
Country.
Look at the establishment. They're stunned, and fine. Some of them came over. That's great. I think more will. But you lost. People spoke, and let's get on board and make sure that the American people's voice is heard in Washington.
Congressman Tom Marino, working to make certain that that is the case. We appreciate you being with us.
Always a pleasure.
Thanks.